Today I'm going to be teaching you how you can get rid of any addiction. And it starts with a little something called a dopamine detox. First, I'm going to explain how long you do it for. Because one thing people mess up is that they do it for too long. They do it for months on end. And I'm here to tell you that it's not a lifestyle. It's not something that you do like monk mode. Monk mode is a lifestyle that you do for months on end. Dopamine detox isn't. You do it for the recommended time, 7 days. 7 days is all you need. Maybe 10 if you're really struggling. But 7 days is good. Because the thing with dopamine detox is it's just a quick reset. It's not a lifestyle. It's just a quick reset. It's like a quick with where your brain is like, do you want this addiction too much? Get out of here. And it just turns it off. So next is the rules. There are 4 rules that you need to follow during a dopamine detox. And number 1 is no bullshit dopamine. And what I mean by bullshit dopamine is stuff like scrolling on Instagram, watching YouTube, watching Netflix, playing video games. Things that don't genuinely make you happy, but you just crave it. To the point where it's like one of those things where like, oh yeah, I'm bored. Let me pull out my phone and just start scrolling on Instagram. Does that really amaze you? Do you really like doing it? Like, yeah, sure, here and there, you'll be like, and then send it to your friend. Do you really enjoy doing it? Or is it just something that your body craves because it gives you quick boosts of dopamine? Because all you're doing is scroll. Oh, I don't like this video, scroll. Oh, scroll. It's bullshit. It's straight bullshit. Same thing with like Netflix. Yeah, you could be watching comedy videos on there, comedy type TV shows, but still, you're still consuming dopamine. And that's why TV counts as well. If you're someone who watches football, cut it out. If you watch boxing, cut it out. So no bullshit dopamine. Number 2 is 10 minutes a day meditation. Now the reason for this is you'll notice after a week or so, your body is like, you'll notice you're more at bay, you're more peaceful, you're more calm. Like you'll be like, why don't some things that used to bother me don't anymore? Like for an example, like why doesn't porn bother me anymore? Why doesn't the guy across the hall that's acting like a fucking idiot, why don't I laugh at him anymore? So yeah, that's number 2. 10 minutes a day meditation, do it. Trust me, it works. Number 3 is no YouTube. And I know what you're gonna say. This is why I did not include it in no bullshit dopamine. Number 1 is because people will go on YouTube looking for knowledge. And yeah, that's okay. You can do that after the 7 days, but within the 7 days, no YouTube. And that's because, for an example, if you're someone who watches Hamza and you look at his videos, are you there? You're like, oh, this is so boring. Or are you deep into it? And are you entertained? Because you're not going to be bored watching a Hamza video. You're still gaining dopamine. And I'm not telling you to not watch it. I'm just saying within your dopamine detox days, don't do it. Don't watch videos. Don't watch YouTube. Hamza says the same thing if you want to debate. Now, number 4 is 1 hour phone time a day. 1 hour screen time. This is going to be difficult for some people because what they do is they don't know how to track it. So that's why if you're on iPhone, you can track it by going to settings and turning on screen time, which tells you how long you've been doing it for, how long you've been on your phone for, and what apps you've been using. So turn on screen time, 1 hour a day, phone time, maximum. Play it like a game. When you wake up, if you're someone who scrolls Instagram, play it like a game. Be like, oh yeah, I can't waste this time, right? Well, too bad. You're not going to waste any time. Because number 5 is deleting all social media. I know you're going to be like, oh yeah, I use it for texting. I use it for communication. No, you don't. Because your screen time would not be at 8 hours a day and 2 hours on Instagram if you just message. Nobody fucking messages for 2 hours. Listen, I used to be guilty of it myself, and I never used to tell myself, yeah, you know what, maybe I do actually scroll. Maybe, I didn't know how to accept criticism. Be honest with yourself. Do you scroll for a little bit? Do you scroll for 5 minutes at a time in class? Do you do that like 10 times a day to the point where it racks up to 2 hours? Yes, you do. So no social media. I don't care what you say. Grab everyone's numbers for seven days. You can do it. Now, here's the thing. I said many times during this video, you can do it after the 7 days. That's where you're not going to. For an example, if you're someone who watches porn, this is involved in the rule number 1, no bullshit dopamine. If you're someone who watches porn, you're not going to go back to watching it after the dopamine detox. Because you know why? Because you're not going to crave it anymore. Because you've implemented all of this stuff like no bullshit dopamine, your body, your brain is not going to need dopamine anymore. It's not going to need full bursts of dopamine. And that's why you're not going to be craving porn anymore. That's not why you're going to need to scroll on Instagram anymore. That's why you're not going to need these small things that give you bullshit dopamine. That's why you're also going to notice that you enjoy the smaller things in life. The smaller things in life can be super simple, things that make you happy, like spending time with your parents, saying hello to your dog, playing with them, taking a warm shower. I mean, who doesn't like a nice warm shower? That'll, little things. Hanging out with your friends. So you'll notice that you enjoy more things in life because your body is used to good dopamine, things that are good for you, things that make your mind more at peace, not scrolling Instagram for hours at a time. So here's the thing. A lot of people come to me and ask me, what are some alternatives that I can do instead of playing video games, watching YouTube, scrolling Instagram, watching Netflix? Because that's all they do. And that's okay. That's where you're going to change this. James Clear explained this in his book, Atomic Habits. If you are trying to give up any bad habit, don't give up on it. Replace them for good habits. So if you're someone who watches YouTube or scrolls Instagram when they're bored, replace it with like reading or learning a new skill. So if you want to learn like a new instrument like guitar, do that instead. Don't scroll. Take a book. One good book I recommend is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Pick up a book and read. When you're bored, just read. Or do other things like hang out with your friends. Focus on school. Try to get the best grades if you're a student. Just replace them for good ones. I'm nearly out of time here, people. But my summary is 1, no bullshit dopamine. 2, 10 minutes a day meditation. 3, no YouTube. And 4, 1 hour phone time a day. Technically, number 5, replace bad habits with good ones. That's all I have for you. Stay strong, Kings.